Hey, just wanted to vent for a little bit. I've been waking up to these extreme emotions. Um, my intuition is telling me that very little is changing in the world and that we're just going through the same circular, repetitive motions, and that there's not a lot of hope in terms of communication being a thing. Like, how drastically does the world need to change for us to ever warrant a discussion about what's really going on? Like, the level of influencing and manipulation in this society is staggering. It's people will follow the wrong leader until the ends of earth and straight into the gates of hell, I believe. Like, nobody lets their moral compass guide them. They let their past, they let their lifestyle, and they let their lack of empathy and sentience guide them into not viewing people like people behind closed doors. Like, we live in such a fictitious world that's all arranged and orchestrated and organized to give us the illusion that we're living a life, but deep down beneath the surface, there's not much to go on here. Like, we are losing humanity, we're losing substance, and the world is devoid of faith and belief. Like, they don't want you to actually believe in anything. Sure, you can go into a church and hear somebody talk about Jesus or God, and in a repetitive fashion, looking at the same book over and over, reciting lines. That's not really a spiritual wellness type of thing, in my opinion. I'm not speaking out against organized religion or anything, but I'll be honest, I sense that the cult influence in the world has found its way into places of worship, and that's a disturbing trend that I'm sensing that is almost impossible to call out because nobody would acknowledge it. The way that the evil in the world works, it's subtle, and it gets a grip over you, and once it has that control, it's hard to break that control without it being a life-changing thing for you. But I would urge that people take a look at the subtle ways in which our minds are manipulated. Nobody ever wants to have this conversation with me, but it's something that I'm intuitive and clairvoyant enough to where I can pick up on quite easily. But it's a hive mind, like I've stated, and it's droning out the masses. People are becoming more subdued, and there's way less of a fight in people, which should be the other way around when you think about the injustice and the human rights issue and the life interference. I'm quite aware that not everybody goes through exactly what I go through. I'm one of the more extreme examples of a targeted individual in this city where I live. But the hive mind that gets created, they are conditioned into this idea that if we let these people live their lives uninterrupted, or if they do anything off the beaten path that these perpetrators and orchestrators don't want, then it's bad for me. So it creates a lot of hostility internally whenever you're in a city like I'm in, where this networked organized gang stalking activity in the hive mind has spread so far. It's disturbing to think that, wow, we can't even live our lives because there's soulless pieces of shit who are voyeurs that have been hoovered into a cult that are covering their asses. Like, that's a scary notion. But I'm gonna keep doing everything that I'm doing. I'm gonna network even more, and I'm gonna keep using the app Skewy to amplify what we're hearing in terms of this globalized harassment and this synthetic and genuine telepathy. We can go ahead and just use that. I'm so glad that I stumbled across that. It was a failed app, actually, I believe, that has an alternative purpose for many reasons. So I'm gonna always use Skewy everywhere I go. I'm just gonna troll people. I'm gonna rub it in their faces that this is happening, and I don't really care if they think I'm crazy, because in my mind they are delusional and they are lunatics, and it blows my mind how easily people can live this double life. I don't like that. I don't like how easy it is for everybody in my midst to be shady, disingenuous people that will cling to the lies of the devil if it means them being exposed for who they truly are and what they're really doing. It is quite sick and evil how this Luciferian cult activity has found its way into people's lives all around me, and I know it has. But of course, they're not going to be quick to bring that up, will they? Nope. But hopefully they see the spiritual value in this event, and everything I've endured with this limitation, this life interference, harassment, slander, persecution, it has made me a stronger individual as a person, but the society that I'm living in is getting weaker and weaker by the day. Nobody stands for anything, they'll fall for anything, and they'll step on anybody's backs if it means another day in hell on earth uninterrupted. So it's just it's so existential at the same time as it being a tangible thing. Like, none of this seems real to most people because they clue them out, they tune them out, they manipulate their minds, they distract them with all types of superfluous bullshit that doesn't matter. They keep us all stuck in some kind of loop, and if it's not because of those reasons, it's usually because of the people around us that we can't be ourselves around. At least that's my experience in my arena. I can't be the person that I was meant to be under these types of confines, limited from the rest of the world. It doesn't work for me. But I'm gonna keep chugging it out a little bit longer. I'm gonna see how it rolls. But this world that we're living in is never gonna have value or purpose unless we seek it and find it. It's not going to come to find us necessarily. It just simply won't. But I would recommend that people keep digging, and there are people that will agree with you, people that are going through the same. Just understand there's a lot of people that are committed to the notion that nothing even bad is happening, and that it's all normal, and that nothing to see here, folks, move along. So remember that. I would liken it to almost like an Agent Smith from the Matrix. It's kind of like that, and many of us are actually bogged down in the Matrix. I would say I'm aware of the Matrix, and I do have to indulge it sometimes, but it's not real to me. I see how fictitious it truly is, and how it's designed to keep our minds distracted from the fact that things are lessening and going away, and it really is leading up to a bad period of time like the tribulation. So keep all of that in mind, everybody, and try to be your spiritual best. And if you don't even know what to do, just don't do harmful things. That's my best advice. But anyway, I'm gonna check out, and I'm gonna go clock in another day at the salt mine, so to speak. Do my regular job, and then I guess live whatever type of existence in my free time that I want to.